Hi guys and welcome to English Language Arts Grade 4. Our topic for today would be forming the comparative and superlative forms of some adjectives, alright? So there are three different forms of adjectives. They could be either in the positive, comparative, or superlative form. What are these and how they are used? Basically, the base form of the adjective itself is in its positive form. That's the base form. Whereas when it's in comparative form, it's used to compare two things with one more or lesser than the other. Okay? And then in superlative, it is the form that is used to compare one thing to two or more things, being the most or the least of them all. Okay, so here are examples of positive, comparative, and superlative. Now, some of them you would add ER for comparative and EST for superlative, such as high, higher, highest, large, larger, largest, pretty, prettier, prettiest, easy, easier, easiest. But sometimes, right, especially when the word has more than one syllable, right, you would have to use the words more or less for comparative and then most or least for superlative, such as, for example, comfortable. That's three syllables. Comfortable, or four syllables, right? So since that's more than one syllable, then you would have to use the words more or less. So such as more or less comfortable. Or if it's superlative, it's most or least comfortable. If it's like another example would be intelligent, more or less intelligent, or most or least intelligent. Or affectionate, more or less affectionate, most or least affectionate. There are times where you have to change the spelling, right? For example, the word good. Good becomes better, becomes best. Better for comparative and best for superlative. For example, another one for bad or ill. Ill is when you're not feeling well, you're feeling sick. That comparative form is worse, and then superlative is worst. Little, right, is when you have few of something, right? So you have little, then less, and then least. Many is the opposite, where in many, then you have more, and then you have most. When you have far, far is used when this kind of far is when you're talking about time or degree or quantity, right? Just how much something is. You have far, further, and then furthest. And when you're talking about far, as in the distance, far, then you'd have farther, and then farthest. Okay, so examples, right? That tree is higher than the other. Katrina is the shortest in the class. California is farther than California from here. Here, that's supposed to be here, not her. I'll change that later on. And I ate the most amongst all of them. Okay, so here are some different examples of how you use the three different forms of adjectives. Again, if it's in its base form, that's positive. If you're comparing two things, right, it's comparative. And when you're comparing one thing amongst two or more things, that's superlative already. Okay? And that basically ends our topic for using forming the comparative and superlative form of some adjectives.